Hi folks, and welcome to a new video. My name is Jacopo and I'm one of the co-founders of Dokin. Today I'm going to show you how you can sync live PostgreSQL data with Google Sheets. And we're going to be able to do that whether we are complete SQL noob, just like me, by using Dokin's nocode functionalities, or even if you are an SQL expert that wants to run some custom SQL queries to pull data into Google Sheets. So let's get started. The first thing to do, if you haven't done that, is to get Dokin. You can get started by going to our website, dokin.co, try it for free. You can get started with our web app. If you are a spreadsheet freak, a bit like me, you may want to use our Google Sheets extension. To do that, open a simple Google Sheets, extensions, add-ons, go on Get Add-ons. And once you're here, type Dokin on the search bar, select it, and click on Install. Once it is installed, it's gonna appear in your extension tab and you can launch it from the Start button. It's gonna appear here on the right side as a sidebar. Now that I have that, I can go ahead and start connecting my data. We have more than 25 integrations right now, going from SQL databases, marketing channels, CRMs, and way more. So this time I'm gonna select my PostgreSQL database and I'm gonna create a new custom import from scratch. So if this was my first time connecting to PostgreSQL, I would have to enter my hosting details so that I can sync data between Dokin and my SQL, or I could add the domain name of my database and I'm up and running. Once I have done that, I can start importing my data. So the first step here is I'm gonna give my import a name. I'm gonna call it connectors count. And why I'm doing that? So I want to import data from our database. I want to see the different integrations, the different connectors that we have, and how many runs are being done for each connector in each team that we have our users in. So to do that, I'm selecting my external connector table and I'm selecting a bunch of fields. So in this case, let's say I'm looking at my connector field right here. I want to see the run for each external connector and I want to connect that to the team name. There it is. Now that I have done that, I could go ahead and add some filters. Maybe I want to filter only on a specific team. I want to see the runs for each connector of a specific team, or maybe I want to filter on a specific connector. I don't want to do that. I want to keep it simple this time. I could add also some sorting elements. I could order them by the number of runs of each connector. Again, not gonna do that this time. I can select some auto refresh frequencies. So if I keep it known, this is gonna be a manual refresh. I need to launch the Dokin extension whenever I want to refresh and click on refresh. Now click of a button, I have my data that is updated in my spreadsheet. Otherwise, I can have that automatically set up on a monthly, weekly, daily, hourly, or every 15 minutes. And I could also have notification via Slack or email and create a backup at refresh. In that case, every time there is a refresh of my data, Dokin is going to create a new tab in Google Sheets with the previous version of data. In this way, I can always go back to the latest version of my data if I need to. I'm going to keep it easy this time as well. So I'm going to keep it manual and I'm going to have a preview of my data. So this gives me already an idea of some of the teams, gives me a first preview of my data. Once I'm fine with all my fields and filters, I'm going to create my new connection. And as you see, Dokin starts importing my data. I just click on Allow Access here. And I have a new tab that is created with my data that has been imported. So this is pretty cool. When I don't know how to code, I can go ahead and pull SQL data without knowing SQL queries. But if you have some familiarity with SQL and you want to run more complex type of queries, you could do that with what we call our SQL mode. And so same procedure, you go on connect new data and you're going to select again PostgreSQL as a connector. I'm going to create a new custom import from scratch. And I just need to go, so I'm gonna just name the import this time SQL mode. And I'm just gonna have to toggle this selector here, SQL mode, and you can start writing your own query. So in my case, I'm not an expert in SQL, so I had my team writing an SQL query for me. And so I'm just copy pasting that. Basically, this SQL query allows me to list external connectors with the associated number of runs ordered by the number of runs in descending order. So I'm copy pasting that and clicking on preview. And I could again set up an automatic refresh. I already see my data. I see the connector's name, connector run count, and I create a new connection. Same thing, Dokin is importing data, has created a new tab. I can go here, starting to importing data, and I have it right here. I can refresh it anytime that I wish by clicking on update new data, refresh. If I had an automatic refresh, this would be automatically done. And so every time I open my spreadsheet, I know that I have the latest version of my data. So this was a preview of what we can do with PostgreSQL. There's many other use cases. Let me know what's your use case in the comments. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and we'll be back with another video about use cases with Dokin. Thank you.